With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Welcome back, trackside, once again, race fans here. It's Return 3 Racing Network tonight. Back at it one more time. Swift Motorsports Cup Series fires things off for the first time this season here at Michigan International Speedway. We watched last night as the Performance Motorsports Truck Series brought to you by Swift Motorsports poured on one heck of a show. We've got some familiar names in the field once again here tonight, but 100 laps ahead of these drivers. But first, we've got to make our way to the Ayers iRacing Paints qualifying session. How you doing? How you feeling? Out there in TV land, race fans, glad you'd all be here tonight. As always, Dave in the Cave bringing you all the calls from trackside. Speaking of trackside, we're going to see which one of these drivers will bring us to the green flag here tonight. Long way to go, still over 3 years. Yes, still about 3.5 minutes remaining here in qualifying before we will see who walks away with the pole award here tonight and brings the field to the green flag. What do you say we get some of those times to the left-hand side of your screen? Looks like we've got a little bit of a mishap and mix up with the graphics. We're going to go ahead and try to get that worked out. So we'll try to bring it to you again one more time. over there to the left-hand side of your screen, and it looks like still having a little bit of trouble. Roy Fernandez going to take the top spot. Now Dalton Fredericks goes quick time here in qualifying 38-45 for the pole position. A little over halfway through tonight's qualifying session, and it looks like 18 drivers on the speed chart so far. Dalton Fredericks with a good finish last night. Front of the field here, quick time in qualifying. 38-45, Fernandez right behind him. The Cuban Missile Rocket fast here unloading. He was fast in happy hour, and he is fast once again. As we said, we've got some familiar names. Don Gray going to work his way into a top 10 starting position. Still got Don Kidder, Gary May, Andy Starcher, Darren Clement yet to put in their time lap. The 32 machine out there on the track trying to get his machine a little closer to the front. Does he put in a time? Not just yet. Looks like he's a little behind schedule here. Going to have basically one crack at it. We'll see if Clement can get the job done. He's going to go 13th, but hard pressed to get this second lap in, man. He's going to squeeze it in. So for the moment, with only 2 drivers left here in qualifying on their final laps, make that just Darren Clement. Can Clement somehow pick up almost 4/10 of a second? Take over that top spot. 30 seconds now remain. Here we go. Can Darren Clement get the job done? Sitting in 13th right now. Where's he gonna go? And he's not gonna get it. Gonna break inside the top 10, but not take that top spot away. We're gonna step away trackside for your national anthem. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
And we rejoin you back live trackside as drivers make their way through final pre-race inspection field set for tonight's 100th lap. Irish Hills 100 right here from Michigan International Speedway. The Swift Motorsports Cup Series drivers will put their skills to the test for the first time behind the wheel of these Gen 4 machines. As we await a handful of drivers still backed up, making their way through pre-race inspection. Tell you what, let's get a little closer anyway. What do you say, race fans? What do you say we take a look at all of these drivers as they begin to line up to kick the season off, right? Last night we had some great racing action all night long. Field packed up with each other. Will we see that same type of racing here tonight? Last night's winner, not in the field here tonight, not running in the Cup Series. John McMillan Jr., he finished third last night, led a handful of laps, walked away with the Airs Eye Racing Paints pole award last night in the Trunk Series. Gonna start 11th here tonight. Can McMillan Jr. have back-to-back solid runs? We're gonna find out here in just a handful of moments. Looks like Tech taking a little bit longer than what may have been expected by some of these guys, making sure all the wheels are on and all that good stuff. Looks like we're missing close to 3 to 4 drivers still making their way through pre-race inspection. For 30 drivers to the track last night in the season opener for the Performance Motorsports Truck Series, brought to you by the SwiftMotorSports and the Airs Eye Racing Paints. Easy for you to say, right? Easy for me to say. Anyways, the Airs Eye Racing Paints, as well as Blunt Kicker. One heck of a race. If you missed it, go back and watch it. My volume or our volume? Looks like the final few moments here, and we're going to get set to kick things off. There it is, signal 2. The pace car to roll. So as drivers get ready to fire off here tonight, it's time to run down your starting lineup here tonight from Michigan International Speedway, starting inside row number 1 behind the wheel of that 20 machine, Dalton Fredericks. Roy Fernandez, the Cuban Missile Rocket, going to start just to his outside. Rambler, quick and happy hour. Will he be able to get the job done and get to the front again from that third starting position? Justin Gann, the solid night last night. Can he follow it up with a good run here tonight? Bailey Dutton, John Wimbish back in row number 3 and in row number 4. And in row number 4 here tonight, the 00 of Nick Hunt, followed by the 32 of Darren Clement. Todd Cray, Jason Branch back in row number 5 with John McMillan Jr. and Brian Wasserman back in row 6. Row number 7 here tonight. Belongs to the 9 of Mike Compaggio with the 5 of Gary May just to his outside. Tommy Haynes and John McMillan Sr. back in row 8. Row number 9, Patrick DeSauner and Corey Milton. Gary Wells and Cody Sleeper will round out the 20-car field here tonight. So as pace car ducks off for the first time, let's get ready to let them loose right here from Michigan International Speedway. On the gas and green flag flies. Green flag flies for the first time here tonight from Michigan International Speedway. Well and away from the field on the start is your pole sitter, Dalton Fredericks. And boss man out there, let us know if we've got some of those audios and everything in line. Had a little bit of update stuff plaguing us earlier here tonight, so trying to get everything back in line and back in order. Hopefully it's all right. Bromler going to take that second position away. Bailey Dutton going to pick up 2 spots here tonight early on lap number 2. Just one behind us, and Dutton going to pick up 2 positions. Roy Fernandez going to fall from 2nd to 4th. Here's John Wimbish up 1 spot now to 5th. So I tell you what, let's try to bring you a little bit more of the action if we can. Let's back up, take a look at these Gen 4 NASCAR machines cross the line 2 laps behind us. We'll drop that Tommy in scoring over there to the left-hand side of your screen. And a big thumbs up to you out there, boss man, checking in, bringing some issues to light for us, helping us get it worked out. We do appreciate that. How about the Dr. Pepper 26 throwback looking machine right there? I tell you what, Dutton, he's a man on the move. He's looking for the top spot. We've got a new race leader at the front. The man that was fastest in happy hour, Scott Bromler, right there front of the field. That McConey setup shop Gen 4 machine looking good at the front. Dutton gonna move to 2nd now with Fredericks behind. Fernandez still keeping that 4th position. John Wimbish back in 5th with Justin Gann slotting in 6th. Todd Cray, familiar face right there. Those 2 drivers with a good run. Solid night until a little bit late in the race in that truck race last night, but a good run for all 3 of these drivers. How about Darren Clement? Man, we haven't seen in a while. Check him out up there. He's a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Our good buddy, Jason Branch, behind the wheel of that Ford Fusion Gen 4 machine. Looking to get Barbie and Ken their dream house tonight. We'll see if he can make it happen. From Michigan International Speedway, 57 of Brian Wasserman right behind him. Nick Hunt, Mike Compaggio in the number 9 machine. He's going to pick up a position, move to 12th. Gonna jump around the track just a little bit, bring you some more of the action. There's Tommy Haynes battling with Nick Hunt, the 17 on the bottom of the racetrack, looking for position on that John Deere double O. They'll work their way off of 4. Everybody gonna slide up just a little bit out of 4. We've seen that really be a hot spot, or not so much turn for turn 2 right here. Exit of turn 2 really gave some of the truck drivers a huge fit last night. That's where we see the majority of the issues. Haven't seen too many of these Gen 4 machines wiggle a little bit. And I tell you what, I gotta go look at this man right here, Corey Melton. We're gonna take a little gander and a little look at him if we can. I think we can. Can we get that camera zoomed in, guys? Can we? There it is. Appreciate it. There you can see old school Jimmy Johnson, and nothing makes me happier than to see a beautiful throwback old school scheme like this, staying true to the car, staying true to that little decade of racing. Behind the wheel of that Cobalt Tools number 48 Lowe's machine, Corey Melton looking to have a solid night. And we've got trouble on the, oh my gosh, trouble on the track just as we went away from him. Melton gonna go around. We've got trouble on the track. Caution number 1 gonna fly here. Lap number 7. Tell you what, I think we may have that one queued up. Let's go see what happened. Let's go check the replay. Front of the field, Dutton gonna move up the racetrack just a little bit too much around and hooked into the outside wall of 39. Oh my gosh. 39. With hard impact there, I believe Roy Fernandez also heavy hard impact. We had an onboard camera with Fernandez. Let's see if it survived this one. this inbox replay. There you can see the trouble. He's trying to get out the way and, just nowhere to go. Done. You can hear him trying to get the car to refire, trying to get it to do something it will not do anything that he wants it to do right now. Woo. Driver of the 32 is washed. Interesting. Clarky, my man. How you doing? How you feeling out there? Glad you're checking in. Hotty toddy. Yep, there he is, up 4 positions into 5th. Looks like most of the field is going to come down pit road. Nick Hunt going to stay out. Decide to lead a little bit here early from Michigan. I mean, we're about 7 laps, 8 laps now behind us. 7 laps of green flag racing of fuel, you know, right? So maybe a little bit early. But looking at the decision now, Nick Hunt pretty much going to be a sitting duck. The loner out there, only driver that decided to stay out. Yeah, I don't know. If you could have got 4 or 5 drivers to stay out with him, I think it would have been a superb move by all of those guys. But here, in solo at the front, early restart. I think drivers may be a little quick to jump on you, put you back in the pack, and make you really pay for that. I don't want to call it a strategy mishap or a miscall. It's still early. You never know what could happen. But I just, I don't know. And it looks like most of the field either taking fuel only or right side tires, or trying to get some confirmation on whether that was right sides or just one quick splash of gas. Everybody stopped in their pit stop for only about 6 to 7 seconds. So very quick stops. Drivers may have just topped off on fuel, and that will put things right back into the wheelhouse of Nick Hunt, right? Be back on that even playing field when it comes to these good years. Pay the price on the fuel mileage. I'll take it. That's going to let me short pit. I could be able to gain a gap back should we see this thing go green flag from here on out. So we'll see if this is the right strategy or not. I mean, I could talk about it all night, go back and forth, but either way, we got to wait to see how it all goes down. Off of turn number 2, pace car lights are off, and we will get set to go green flag racing this time by. Early trouble here tonight sees a handful of drivers having to make some lengthy stops. Corey Melton with a lengthy stay on pit road. Scott Rombler with a long pit stop as well. Bailey Dutton with issues. Roy Fernandez, they're going to drop the hood and bring it behind the wall. Early exit here tonight for the Cuban Missile Rocket, the number 3. Out of tonight's race, nowhere to go. Contact, and that has put Fernandez behind the wall. Behind pit wall goes the pace car to the restart zone. And away we go. Green flag flies once again here from Michigan. Off of turn 2, all over him, heading down the backstretch to the 20 of Dalton Fredericks. Only Nick Hunt. A little bit of air on the nose, going to send him up the racetrack. He's going to lose a little bit of ground to race leader Nick Hunt, who brings him back. across the stripe to lead the lap after the restart. We'll wait another lap under green flag conditions before we do drop that timing and scoring over there to the left-hand side of your screen. If you're just joining in, 12 laps into tonight's 100 lap Irish Hills race, live right here from Michigan International Speedway. Nick Hunt and that John Deere 00 elected to stay out after our first caution has scooted away to about a half a second advantage as we cross the line this time by. We'll drop that time. As far as I know, Clarky, no fast repairs. No fast repairs with the Truck Series. No fast repairs for these guys in these Gen 4 machines. It's basically run what you brung. Before you can finish first, you must first finish. You know, make some of the moves maybe thought out a little bit more. Drivers may have to tiptoe a little bit. Settling in out front is that 00 of Nick Hunt. Half a second advantage over Dalton Fredericks. Good, solid night so far here for your pole sitter. Justin Gann behind him into the kitty cat coin. Number 30 machine. Up one position from where he qualified. Now running in third, but there's the battle. McMillan Jr., John Wimbish going at it at the 15 on the bottom. The Army-sponsored number 56 at the top. Todd Cray sitting right behind him. You can see Cray trying to gain a handful of positions. Well, you still got one out there. I mean, you still got one out there as far as Bailey or Todd. Unfortunately, Bailey caught up and involved in that first incident here tonight, so he's got a little bit of damage. Not running too far off of the pace, though. Looks to has a little gap, but as far as speed out there, looks to, well, there it is on the backstretch. It's really going to show. He's about 5 miles an hour off of the speed, so it's going to be a long night ahead of Dutton as we go side by side with Cray and Wasserman. The Valvoline number 57 high side, looking to keep the position, and the momentum will pay off. So what we seen last night in the trucks with that high side momentum really being important, really working for a lot of guys. The rubber from last night and from happy hour tonight. Those guys look to be liking that high line. Not much at the front of the field. Nick Hunt still going to stay out front for the moment. Dalton Fredericks in second. Justin Gann now has company behind him. Here comes John McMillan Jr., the Exalted number 15 machine. Looks to take over that fourth spot. John Wimbish now up to fifth with Brian Wasserman. Lurking in the background, you can see that 57 machine running in sixth. Todd Cray up 2 spots, now to 7th. Into turn 3, we roll. Hunt still out front, but giving up a little bit of the gap. Fredericks really working the high line on turn 3's entry. And I'm telling you, these guys absolutely ripping it out there. We're going to go on board now with the 57 of Brian Wasserman sitting in that 6th position. Up 6 spots from where he qualified. You can see multiple lines being utilized here. Drivers kind of letting the car drive itself. And I know what some of you are thinking. What kind of comment is that? Letting the car drive itself. You can kind of feel when the car wants to rotate and keep heading on that original line, or when the back end, just like that, when the 56 got loose, you can kind of feel it, and that's when you you either decide to correct it with the wheel or correct it with the throttle. But through the corners, you kind of let the car float, if you will. You got to float it a little bit, feel the way the car is handling it when it grips up and is ready to go. And for you to put that throttle down, momentum got to be king here tonight as we jump back to another battle. Another driver running that high line, the 33 of Gary Wells, sitting just outside of your top 10 in the 11th position. As Mike Capagio behind him in that 9 machine. Capagio about a half a second back. And just a great camera shot here. Got to give a big tip of the cap to everybody back behind the scenes, allowing us to get these great camera shots. Big shout out to all the teams and drivers that agreed to run some of these cameras for us here tonight. But here we are once again, sideways, side by side. We got it all here tonight. 33 get a step away of Gary Wells. We're going to go back up near the front around that top 5 position. Todd Cray has moved into 6th, looking for 5th. Jason Branch with a little bit of a moment off of turn number 2. That was the hot spot last night. Will the Barbie, number 22, fall victim to that outside wall off of turn 2, and Nick Hunt's to pit road. Nick Hunt gonna come to pit road, lap number 22, and we've got a green flag pit stop. Gary Main, the 5 machine, gonna follow him. Looks like fuel strategy change. Race strategy changing for that 5 machine. We'll see if that's the right call for May. How long will these guys at the front stay out? New race leader Justin Gann going to take that top spot. And just as we go to the battle for that race lead, the Kitty Cat coin machine going to lose some ground. Great run through the bottom of the racetrack. Able to really get the forward bite center off the 15. With a great run through the corner. Still hasn't been able to quite make that pass. Hasn't been able to really work the car up the track there. You can see him having to keep it down. He gets a little bit loose, but somehow keeps enough momentum moving forward to creep up and take that top spot away from Justin Gann. The Kitty Cat coin machine will now settle for second. Whoa, moment there for Justin Gann. He's going to drop to the bottom of the racetrack. These guys going at it. Let's go back to the battles outside of your top 10. Wimbish, Wasserman, Branch, Wells, all right here backed up with each other. Taking a look at the All-Stars 15 TV Amsoil number 33 machine. Gary Wells running in 9th, up 10 positions from where he qualified. So a great run through the field for Wells, only tied with John McMillan Jr. at the front of the field for most positions gained. Both drivers with 10 spots in their back pockets. We're going to go back here as we've got John Wimbish working the bottom of the racetrack, the Army 56, trying to take a position as we work ourselves a quarter of the way through tonight's race. One quick caution to start tonight's race on lap number 7. We have been green flag ever since 3. 4 wide for a moment. Fresh tires, beep, beep, coming through. Into the outside wall goes Jason Branch. Branch going to lose a ton of time. Into the outside wall. 2-3 wide racing in front of him. Capagio into the outside wall as well. And we've got trouble. Trouble on the track. Looks like John Wimbish may have been caught up in this one as well. Into the outside wall. 3 drivers into that outside wall. Let's look back. Let's check out what happened. Waiting for that thumbs up. We're going to get it there. And let's go check the Simbox replay. And just into the corner, down the track comes the 17. Nowhere to go up the track in the 01. Catches a piece of this one. Cody Sleeper, victim of circumstance. We'll try to take one more look at it from high above. Do we got the drone cam on that, guys? And here we go. Let's check the replay one more time. Yeah, just into the corner. The 56 comes up just a little. 17 comes down, and they meet in the middle, and then it's whammo from there. Trouble on the track. Caution gonna fly for the second time here tonight as we go back out front with your race leader, John McMillan Jr. will bring him to pit road. See, we assumed he was bringing him to pit road, but this is going to spell trouble now for Nick Hunt, right? He came to pit road under green flag conditions, lost a lap. Now he's going to have to stay out. I believe he may get, no, I don't think he got a waiver around. Maybe get the lucky dog. He's at least going to get a waiver around and get himself back onto the lead lap. So as we find ourselves on pit road once again. Just past the quarter mark. We've had some big movers, right? 10 positions made up by John McMillan Jr., 10 positions made up. I believe it was the 33 of Gary Wells up 10 positions as well. So good run to the front with that All-Stars 15 TV. Amsoil, number 33, Machine Wells with a solid performance so far, starting at the rear of the field. Now back inside of the top 10. John McMillan Jr. will lead him to pit road. He will lead the race off of pit road, be your race leader when we get set to go back. Green flag racing. I believe we've got ourselves about 2 more laps before we go green flag racing. Gary Maid, you can see him right there. He's waiting for the wave around. The 1 to go signal, and the 5 will get himself back onto the lead lap, but he's going to be, excuse me, he's going to be at that disadvantage. He's going to be shorter on fuel, and now he is going to be short on tires. Albeit only about 5 laps. It's still short. End of the day, you still got older tires. You still have less fuel. So we'll see if he continues to chase that early stop strategy. Almost going to be forced to. But we'll see if he stretches it a little bit here. Not to get caught a lap down once again. So the boss man in the flag stand getting him the 1 finger wave this time by. Drivers will receive the 1 to go, and we'll go back green flag racing on lap number 30. And what started as a 21 car field here tonight, we are down to just 18 left on the track. Only Roy Fernandez listed as officially out of tonight's race, but John Wimbish and Tommy Haynes, they have got extensive repairs to worry about. It's not a simple massage of the fender for these boys. They're going to be down there thrashing away with sawzalls and all sorts of rubber mallets just to get those machines back out on the track. So for the moment, 18 drivers still on track. 18 drivers still on the lead lap. And there it is, the 1 to go signal as the pace car lights go out. Driver's going to go back double file off of turn number 2. We're going to roll down the back stretch at a nice, calm, leisurely pace, but we will unleash the beast this time by just over the quarter mark in tonight's 100 lap event right here from beautiful Michigan International Speedway, sunny days, track temperature looking good for these guys. A lot of grip out there. We'll see who gets the job done and who stays out the front. McMillan Jr. will bring us back to the green flag. As the field heads off of turn 4, we'll go high above with the drone cam for this restart. Pace car and drivers roll to the restart zone, and away we go. Green flag flies as McMillan gonna hit the gas, scoot away from the field. Again, a little slow on the restart. He's gonna stack up that outside lane. A little bit of a bump by Fredericks. Get again going. Darren Clement, look at this Duff beer machine. Working his way to the front. Now into 4th. Big run by the 57 of Wasserman. Wasserman going to close in 3 car lengths to be right on that rear deck lid of the 32. Gann unable to do anything in 3rd. Clement going to work his way off of turn 4. A little slide out of that 57 of Wasserman, and that's going to open up the door on the inside lane, and he's going to lose the position. Gray panels on the track now as Melton looks for a position on Wasserman. Oh, trouble, trouble, trouble. Once again, trouble on the track. The 56 of Wimbish and the 22 of Branch involved, and it's gonna be a bad one for Branch. Let's go high above with this Simbox replay. There you can see already in trouble was the 22. The 93 Mopar machine gonna come in, catch a piece of it. John Wimbish also gonna come in and catch a little piece of the action after the fact. So caution number 3, almost our big one here tonight. Let's take another look there. You can see, jacked up in the back. And, oh, man. John Wimbish with a big hit. Justin Branch, even bigger hit on that driver left front. It's got the wheel locked up. There's no front clip. Long stay on pit road now for that 22. So we'll rejoin the field back at the front with your race leader behind the pace car as we're under caution for the 3rd time here tonight. We're going to take this opportunity to step away from the mic for just a moment, pay a few of the sponsors. You know how that goes, so don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back. And back trackside as drivers make their way off of turn number 2, back behind the pace car, double file once again. Under caution for the third time, but we're going to let them loose this time by lap number 35 will go on the board, and the list of drivers out on tonight's race begins to grow. Roy Fernandez behind the wall, joined by John Wimbish and Patrick DeSauner. Long stay on pit road. Jason Branch still trying to get anything he can get fixed on that Barbie number 22 machine. I think it's gonna be a long night for that 22. Bailey Dutton, still some damage on the front end. He's out on the track listed as the first and only driver, one lap down. But here we go. We're ready to pound the pavement once again. Front of the field, John McMillan Jr. leads us to the green flag here from Michigan. Green flag will fly here from Michigan International Speedway as drivers make their way into turn number 1. First lap after the restart, the 15 is going to lead them down the backstretch. No problems on the restart for McMillan Jr. He's going to open it up to about a half a second advantage already here. Early after the restart, Romler going to pick up 10th from Nick Hunt. Going to grab another position and move to 9th. Take the spot away from Daniel Krim as Krim falling to the back here. 3 wide. Let's take a look at this 47 top of the racetrack. That All-Star TV, the All-Star 15 TV machine, struggling a little bit here on the high side. There's Nick Hunt. You remember the strategy that put Hunt kind of behind the 8 ball, where here he is carving his way to the front of the field. The damaged Dr. Pepper number 26 machine right behind him. You got to give kudos, tip of the cap to the man behind the wheel of that 26 machine, just perseverance king. You know what I mean? Could have given up on tonight's race. Heavy damage on the nose of that Dr. Pepper 26, but he is out here giving it his all. And as we cross the line, lap 37 will begin. We'll drop the timing and scoring back to the left-hand side of your screen. Tight battle for position as Nick Hunt's going to take the spot away from Camacho, sitting in that 9 machine. Ford Fusion on the high side. Jump around the track just a little bit. What do you say? Let's watch the battle just out in front of that John Deere machine. Looking to find the 33 of Gary Wells. Looking to gain a handful of positions. Brian Wasserman looking for a spot. Todd Crane going to pick up the 5th position now. He's going to take a spot away from Corey Melton. And how about McMillan Sr. right there in that 51? Great run tonight for the man behind the wheel of the Labatt machine. Up 7 spots from where he qualified, keeping that Chevy clean. McMillan Sr. inside of your top 10. Going to stay right here with the battle for that 8th and 9th position for the time being. But we apologize. That's going to be the 9th and 10th spot. 33 of Gary Wells going to look to the bottom of the racetrack, looking to take the position away from the Impala on the top. The Ford Fusion looking to get around. And we'll look up at the front with the 21 of Todd Crane. That powder baby blue iRacing sponsored machine, top of the racetrack. Ray has been quick all night long, able to avoid some early trouble here tonight. We've seen trouble at the front. We've seen trouble near the mid of this field. So I don't want to say there's nowhere safe, but can happen anywhere. The Bacone Setup Shop, number 39. Looking to find his way back to the front. Bromlin back in 7th. Close racing off of turn 4. We'll cross the line. Lap number 41 goes on the board here from Michigan International Speedway for Swift Motorsports Cup Series. Packed up once again for a battle just outside of your top 5. Justin Gann, Todd Craig, Romler, as well as Wasserman. All packed up right here. The Valvoline number 57 of Wasserman hanging on to the tail end of this pack. Race leader McMillan Jr., he's stepped out away, almost a 1 second advantage now as we cross the line for lap number 42. So those gaps at the front are really beginning to develop. I tell you what, while we've got a moment, we've got some time, we're going to give it to you a little bit early. How about your driver highlights and spotlights? Drivers inside of your top 5, up 10 positions from where he qualified here tonight. Great run so far for the Canadian-sponsored Exalted number 15, John McMillan Jr. At the front, he shows the way. Man sitting in second, up 6 spots. Can't be mad about that. The man had a kiss of me, Florida. The Assassins Motorsports Duff Beer sponsored 32 machine of Darren Clement. Clement looking to have a good night. He runs in second. Man that started on the pole last night, started outside pole tonight, behind the wheel. That R-Star 15 TV. Number 20 machine, Dalton Fredericks rounds out your podium drivers inside of the top 3. We'll see how long Fredericks can keep it there. Corey Melton right behind him in a paint scheme that I'm very fond of. Big Jimmy Johnson fan. Even got his Indy cars, right? I know, I'm a Jimmy Johnson nerd. It's okay. Corey Melton representing the colors well. Holding in that 4th position, up 14 spots from where he qualified. All the way back in 18th, now to inside of the top 5. Great run here tonight for Melton, rounding out your top 5. The man from Virginia Beach, Virginia, behind the wheel of the Kitty Cat coin, number 30 machine, Justin Gann, rounds out your top 5. So that's going to do it for your driver highlights and spotlights. Still just a little bit early for the mid-race report. We'll get that to you in just a handful of laps as we cross the line. Lap number 45 will go on the board. Drivers inching closer to that halfway point, and here comes Gann looking for position. Good battles at the front of this field, inside of your top 5. Good battles right around that top 10 position as well. John McMillan Sr., Mike Compaggio, as well as Cody Sleeper going at it. That's going to be 10th, 11th, and 12th on the racetrack, all knotted up with each other. Romler going to pass Todd Cray. That's going to be for 6th position. Here comes Sleeper on Compaggio for 11th. Early pit stop once again. Nick Hunt going to bring that John Deere 00 down to pit lane. Early stop here for Hunt. First race of the season, drivers trying to, I don't want to say knock the rust off, because all of these drivers have been behind the wheel of either this machine or multiple others available here on iRacing.com, the world's #1 racing simulator. That's right, iRacing.com. Right here, home of Swift Motorsports in the Turn 3 Racing Network. Couldn't be a better way to get your race on than right here on iRacing.com. If you're looking to get on track, you're looking to mix it up with a handful of great drivers, high caliber, respectable drivers, look no further than Swift Motorsports. You can find them on Facebook.com. You can also find them in the league directory section on iRacing.com. So quit wasting your time. Get online and get your ride. Battle heating up just a little bit here between Melton and Gann. Gann able to take that spot away from Melton, but now he's trying to grab it back. Wasserman took a spot from Bromler. They swapped that position back and forth a handful of times. And Wasserman going to keep the advantage for the moment. Todd Gray able to work his way back around both of them as the 32 Duff Beer Machine heads to pit lane. We've got another driver on the pit road. Green flag pit cycle has begun. So with drivers hitting pit lane, that's going to open up the gaps between a handful of these drivers. We're going to stay right here with your closest battle on track. Melton, Gann, Cray, Wasserman, and Romler are all knotted up with each other. There you can see back in the distance the Maconi setup shop number 39 machine. As it looks like we've got drivers to pit road. Drivers to pit road. The 39 going to stay out. John McMillan Sr. going to stay out. Junior, Fredericks, Milton, Gann, Cray, and Wasserman all to pit road. This time by Mike Campaggio going to join him on to pit lane. Well, no, he's not. He's going to stay out on the track. And look at the man lurking in the background. You know that paint scheme. John Deere's Get Her Done. I said that because I don't know what their slogan is. Nothing beats a deer. Is that it? I don't know. Anyways, getting himself back on the lead lap just as race leader comes to pit road. Romler going to hand over the race lead to that 33 of Gary Wells, who elects to extend this run. First green flag pit cycle here tonight from Michigan International Speedway for the Swift Motorsports Cup Series, and it looks like Wells may be struggling just a little bit. Campaggio behind him also yet to come to pit road. The 5 of Gary May, the 17 of Tommy Haynes, they have got to make their green flag pit stops as well. Interesting to see, though, as Wells comes to pit road. Campaggio going to take over the race lead. And as we're looking around the track, right, we expected maybe a little bit of a jump through the field here. We expected maybe a jump through the field for Nick Hunt. Came to pit road about 5 laps prior to the rest of the field, but unable to really gain any spots. Only up now to the 11th position, and he's got Darren Clement right behind him with 3 lap pressure tires, so it's going to be hard pressed for him to keep that Duff Beer 32 machine behind. And now looking to the bottom of the racetrack, here comes Darren Clement for position. He's going to take the spot away from Cody Sleeper as well, who struggles through the center of the corner. The Fago machine, all sorts of sideways. Here comes the battle lead, number 57 of Brian Wasserman. He's going to make short work of Hunt on the top. Gary May going to continue to stay out on the racetrack here tonight. The CarQuest number 5 machine got to lead a handful of laps. He's going to bring his Monte Carlo machine down to pit road this time by. You can just hear him out of the throttle coming to pit road. And that will hand lead back over to this man right here, but he's got company. That 1 second gap all out the window. John McMillan Jr. now has company from the man behind, and I tell you what, before this battle gets over with, let's take a look off at the tail end. Great look back off of the Canadian-sponsored Exalted number 15 machine of John McMillan Jr., who will reclaim the race lead here on lap number 54. Great camera shot, great camera work from everybody at the track tonight. Couldn't be happier with the placement of multiple cameras here. And sometimes I say I couldn't be happier because sometimes I don't know where they put them, all the cars. You know, one week they may have them on the A pillar, the next week we're overlooking a spoiler, or right down the left side of the car as drivers trying to hug that high line, getting a real perspective of just how close they are to that outside wall. So we're just as surprised with some of these camera shots here tonight as we are just over the halfway point. A little bit late now, but let's go ahead and give you that mid-race report, your driver rundown. We started tonight's race with the 11 drivers on the starting grid. We have still got the 17 on track running here tonight. John McMillan Sr. going to lose a handful of laps coming to pit road with some trouble. The 17 of Tommy Haynes also to pit road. Bailey Dutton off the lead lap as well, sitting in 16th. So as the round of green flag pit cycles plays itself out, it's wreaked a little bit of havoc on the field. 3 drivers out of the race, but only now 14 left on the lead lap. It's also stretched out some of the field, stretched out some of the gap. John McMillan Jr. now leads by a half a second over Dalton Fredericks in that twin machine. Dalton looking to back up a good solid night last night. Had a great run going. A little bit of trouble late in the race. And it unfortunately didn't quite bring home the finish that he should have, but still walked away with a good point staying. We'll see if Fredericks can make a better night of it here in this Cup Series. Corey Melton again, man after my heart. I'm telling you what, this is going to be, you know what, Swift's most popular driver award this season belongs to the 48. I don't care what you vote. It's over. That guy right there. Let him pull out the white, and it's like a tealish green Lowe's paint scheme, and oh boy, I'm telling you, if you don't know, Google it. That's all I'm saying. That Jimmy Johnson scheme, absolutely on fire. Battle on fire right here between a handful of drivers. Again, Clement and Wasserman all coming together. Oh, big moment for Clement at the bottom of the racetrack. Big wiggle, and he's going to give up a ton of time. A lot of ground lost to that. Sync power number 57 of Brian Wasserman as he's going to take the spot away from Clement. You can see the kitty cat coin number 30 of Justin Gann just out front. Todd Cray able to make his way inside of the top 5, running in the 4th position, up 5 spots from where he qualified. So just a real quiet night here tonight. If you remember, just before your halfway point, we did the driver highlights, and Todd Cray was not inside of your top 5. Looks like he's got a little bit of damage on that right front as well. Maybe a bit of a kiss. Coming out of corner exit, I would venture to say out of turn 2. But your top 3, 1.2 seconds in front of Cray. He's going to try to close in, but with that damage, it may take him quite a bit to get there. Meanwhile, John McMillan Jr. continues to lead tonight's race by just a half a second. Dalton Fredericks right there with Corey Milton, your top 3 out and away from this field. 2-3 car battles as we speak for your top 3 positions. Then we go back 5th, 6th, 7th on the racetrack between Gann, Wasserman, and Clement. Continue to keep our eye back on that second battle as we watch this one right here for your podium positions. Less than 40 laps remain here tonight from Michigan International Speedway. Want to take this moment to say, if you haven't already, show these drivers some love and appreciation. Let them know you enjoy all of the racing action here tonight from Michigan. We've got great racing action coming up at you next Tuesday night. We're going to hit Watkins Glen. That's right. Following suit with the Truck Series, we're going to go road course racing next week in these Gen 4 machines. We're going to hit up the Glen, so keep your eyes peeled for that one. All right. Tell you what, if you haven't already, join us in that push to 3,000 subscribers. Show these drivers a love. Drop the thumbs up, click subscribe, push that bell over there with the right-hand side, get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Dave of the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters. We do appreciate each and every one of you. Each and every time you stop by, without you, there would be no us. But while you're here, while you're watching, drop these drivers that thumbs up. Back to the task at hand. Gary Wells into 33. All-Star. 15 TV. Amsoil machine looking to take a position away from his teammate. Wells running in 10th. Compaggio in 9th. They're going to go side by side into turn 1. Nick Hunt just in front of them. Hunt listed off of the lead lap right now. Oh, big slide for Wells. Ooh, big time slide for Gary Wells. And again, Nicholas Hunt with that shortstop mentality. And I'm just after it not working, not working as effectively. That first round of green flag pit cycle, not so sure I would have pulled the trigger on this second one. But that's why we're in the booth and we're not on top of the box. We're going to head back up front. Battle for the race lead continues between McMillan Jr., Fredericks, and Melton. Justin Gann going to be our latest driver to pit road. He's going to come to pit lane 5 laps after Nick Hunt. Gann going to try to keep himself on the lead lap, but I do believe he will fall victim to your race leaders halfway down the backstretch heading into turn number 3. Fredericks keeps that second position, but for how long? Here comes Corey Melton. Melton with a great 1 and 2 and an even better 3 and 4. He's going to close right end. Let's take a look off of the front end of this Lowe's Cobalt number 48 of Corey Melton. So things stretching out a little bit after what seems to be our second round of green flag pit stops. Cody Sleeper gonna bring his machine to pit road. Race leader starting to reopen that gap at the front. About a half a second advantage for Dalton Fredericks. For John McMillan Jr., over Dalton Fredericks, who just can't seem to shake Corey Melton. Melton just right there hanging on. I don't want to say hanging on for dear life because he's looked to the inside a few times on Fredericks. Make no bones about it, that 48 machine looking for a way to get to second. And with drivers making those pit stops, Justin Gann going to go by Todd Cray. That's going to be for the 10th position. Both Gann and Cray listed off the lead lap, 4 seconds back to Nick Hunt. And here comes the 15. He's going to bring the 20 and the 48 right along with him. What will the 57 do of Wasserman? And he's going to come to pit road. The Cody setup shop number 39 of Scott Bromler elects to stay out on the track. Mike Compaggio going to stay out. Gary Wells going to stay out on track as well. Gary May, Daniel Krim yet to make their pit stop. So 3 early cautions here tonight, followed by what has now been a second round of green flag pit stops. We're going to see how drivers cycle through. Nick Hunt, first driver pit lane, 6 laps prior to Todd Cray, 4 laps before Justin Gann, who is now inside of your top 5. We're going to look to see what kind of a jump that gives Gann, as Gann and Cray both able to leapfrog John McMillan Jr. That's going to get them those top 2 positions here late in the race, right at 30 laps remaining here tonight for Michigan International Speedway. So again, it looks like that short strategy, the short pit, the undercut, however you want to categorize it, it looks like that is working for a few drivers. Oh my goodness. Looks like it's working for a few drivers, but not really working out for that 00 John Deere machine of Nick Hunt. Hunt unable to really capitalize on it and make it work. Scott Romler may be saving a little bit of fuel here. Looking to make this on one more stop. We're not quite sure if these drivers are going to be able to make it from here on out. Maybe trying to stretch this thing to possible lap 75, and he's not going to be able to do so. We can see him jump out of the gas coming through 3 and 4, and he's going to head right to pit road. Capaccio going to follow him. Gary May is still out on the racetrack. The Car Quest number 5. May was able to stretch it further than anybody else last time during the green flag pit cycle. Will he do the same this time around? Only man yet to make his second green flag pit stop. And how about the jump, man? This is going to be a good run. We're going to take a look right here. Let's go back here to this battle. Todd Cray, Justin Gann, there's John McMillan Jr. 4 lap fresher tires, then Gann. 2 lap fresher tires, then Cray. Looking to the inside on Justin Gann, unable to take the spot just yet. Now he's going to do it on entry to turn number 3. McMillan Jr. looks to slide up the racetrack. He's going to do so and take that 3rd spot away. Not much that Gann can do about it except fight for that 4th spot. Corey Milton right behind him, running in that 5th position, 1.3 seconds back. You can find that 20 of Dalton Fredericks. Stationary in his pit box for about a second longer than anybody else. Tough break here on what could have been the money stop for Fredericks. So this will be the battle for the race lead as Gary May get a pull to pit road. Todd Cray out front for the first time here tonight. He's going to get that Baby Blue 21 across the line and lead a lap here tonight. Great run so far for Cray. As we've said, a bit of a quiet night, right? Had a little bit of front end damage. You can see it fixed up right there, so able to get the fender worked on quickly while on pit road. Todd Cray looking to keep it out front. Lap 75 will go on the board next time by. Big run on the high side, a little bit of a power move it across the line and back to your race lead goes that Canadian sponsored Exalted number 15. Todd Cray gonna fight back. Dig on the bottom for all it's got. Oh, contact, and Cray goes he goes away, doesn't go around. What a save. What a save. That's going to all but put him out of contention for the race lead, but now 3 wide as Fredericks and Gann going to make their way by. Tight racing action off of 2 almost went wrong. Well, it did go wrong. It almost went worse. You think that's a thing? Almost went worse? I don't know how he did it, He kept the car underneath him, kept it from going around, kept it from hitting that inside wall. He's going to snatch a gear, get headed back onto the track. Todd Craig going to go from first back to fourth. Small little battles you can see right here between that 15 machine and the 48 of Corey Melton. Does Melton have the pace? Does he have what it takes to go up there and battle with the man that took last night's pole position in the Truck Series? The man that has led the most laps here tonight from Michigan. John McMillan Jr. looking to walk away with the first checkered flag in the Cup Series. Melton wanting to spoil that hopes. Dalton Fredericks, he's watching the opportunity for that race win slowly drift away. You can see him off in the background in those old school Stewart paint colors. Very iconic paint scheme. Almost looks just like that Home Depot machine, but it ain't. But it is the All-Star 15. The TV machine of Fredericks running in third. Todd Gray after that slide, and then after a little bit of contact coming out of turn 2 with your race leader McMillan Jr. Gray gonna fall back and now to fourth. So drivers stretching out just a little bit. We're gonna jump back around the track for a moment. Had a little look back there at that 33 of Gary Wells and Mike Compaggio as they continue to go at it. That's going to be a battle for 9th and 10th on the racetrack. Jason Branch able to get by Darren Clement. That's going to be for the 16th position. Perseverance pays off for a handful of drivers. Wounded warriors, if you will, here tonight. Bailey Dutton, early trouble, but he's kept his head down, he's kept his head in the game, and he has managed to walk away has managed to walk away with what is a potential top 15 for the moment. Dutton with a handful of lap cushion back to John McMillan Sr. Down 4 laps, Dutton down 1. So for the moment, again, just being able to get out there and say, you know what, I'm going to pick up the pieces. I'm going to get what I can get. I'm going to give it all I've got. And just the chips fall where they fall. And tonight, Dutton going to turn his misfortune into a pretty decent points night. Battle between Wells and Compaggio going on. They're going to drop to the bottom of the racetrack and take the spots away from Nick Hunt, who's going to go from 8th to 10th. And Hunt to pit road. Hunt back to pit road with 20 to go. The 01 of Cody Sleeper going to join him. Will drivers need one more pit stop? McMillan Jr. out front. Right here in front of Corey Melton. Dalton Fredericks 1.6 back. Another 1.4 back to Todd Craig. Justin Gann 1.5 back from there. He is going to give up a position to Brian Wasserman, who moves into the top 5. So again, do these guys, do your race leaders have enough fuel to get to the end? 4 tires in fuel for Nick Hunt. 4 tires in fuel for Cody Sleeper. And again, Hunt loses time on pit road. Almost a half a second longer in the box. Race leader going to cross the line, continue with the green flag run here tonight. We've had 2 rounds of green flag pit stops. Handful of drivers coming in for what will be their 3rd green flag pit stop. Justin Gann going to be pulled to pit road, this time by John McMillan Jr., Corey Melton, Dalton Fredericks, Todd Craig going to make up your top 4. So what do you do if you're McMillan Jr., right? You You stayed out a little longer than Gann, and a little longer than Cray. There was about a 2-lap difference between those two drivers, and then another 2-lap difference back to you. Gann and Cray were both able to leapfrog you for about 3 laps. How long do you stay out here? Last to pit road on lap number 68. We crossed the line this latest time by on lap number 83, 84. I don't think they can make it. I was going to try to keep my mouth quiet, but I don't see them making it. I mean, 6-lap difference, and drivers are dropping to pit lane. Todd Cray going to be the next guy on the pit road. He's going to bring his 21 to the attention of the pit crew. He's going to give up a spot inside of your top 5. That's going to leave McMillan, Jr., Melton, Fredericks, Wasserman, Romler, Wells, Compaggio, Gary May to pit road back on lap 73. So he's going to be looking into eyeballing pit road as well. '47 of Daniel Krim going to be put down 1 lap here. Good old-fashioned way by John McMillan Jr. He's not going to wait for the round of green flag pit cycles to take care of that point. He's going to go ahead and do it on the racetrack. Corey Milton going to follow through as Wasserman and Romler come to pit lane. And race leader to pit road, John McMillan Jr. going to pull to pit lane. That's going to hand over the race lead to the man at the front now behind the wheel of that. Cobalt Tools, Lowe's number 48. Corey Melton going to take the top spot. Dalton Fredericks now running in second. Gary Wells going to eyeball third. No, he's going to come to pit road. Compaggio to pit road as well. Some varying strategies, but it's not working out for Nick Hunt. Back to pit road on lap number 80. He was the first driver down for his 3rd green flag stop and unable to make up positions. Fredericks, Compaggio, Wells to pit lane, this time by Corey Melton, also on the pit road. Gary May going to stay out on the track once again behind the wheel of that CarQuest. Kellogg's number 5. A little bit of an iconic paint scheme right there. What do you think, man? I'm loving some of these old school looks. And May gonna stay out. He's gonna extend this run now to take over the race lead. Dalton Fredericks is still getting worked on in the pit box. Corey Melton down and away. But this time, unable to make that leapfrog was Cray or Gann, and McMillan Jr. will reemerge from this round of green flag pit stops with the top spot. There you can see him right there. No real company behind him. Todd Cray going to take second away, but Corey Melton with 3-lap pressure tires. Look for Melton to challenge him for what will be the eventual second spot on the racetrack. Gary May continue to run out front. You can see Bailey Dutton fighting for his life. Dutton loses this position. If he falls back behind the 15, that's going to put him a 3rd lap down after the green flag pit cycle is over with. Or no, I apologize. That's going to put him 2 laps down. Still a 1-lap advantage over John McMillan Sr. for the moment for 14th and 15th. But the field definitely stretched out here. Fastest lap of the race going to be turned in this latest time by John McMillan Jr. Going to run a 38:48 for the fastest time on the racetrack with just 11 to go. We've seen a late reset and rewind. We've seen a late race caution change the dynamics of the race last night, right here from Michigan. Will we see an untimely caution change the complexity of the finish here tonight with the Cup Series? 3 quick cautions here tonight. We have seen 3 rounds of green flag pit cycles to end tonight's race. Has the yellow flag flown for the final time? 10 to go. 9 when we cross the line this time around. 3-second advantage for Macmillan Jr. over Corey Melton. Todd Craig to hold down that 3rd position for the moment. Bit of an advantage over Dalton Fredericks. About a 1.3 second advantage. Craig looks to try to close in on Melton. He's got that gap down under a second, but he's going to have to be careful. If he can sniff a little bit of the draft, get a little bit of a toe, he's going to be able to separate himself even more from Fredericks. But once he gets there, he cannot waste time. He is going to have to go. If those 2 guys begin to battle, it's going to be a 3-car battle for 2nd and 3rd. So situational awareness in this race. After 90 laps of hard racing action, this is when the mentality of the drivers is really put to the test. This is where we see who has conditioned themselves mentally, who has prepared properly for these type of situations, not to get what we like to call flustered, aggravated by driver closing in behind, because make no mistake, Dalton Fredericks, he is on his way. Looking at the speed charts, this latest time by race leader going to turn in a 39.05. 39.20 for 2nd place runner. 39.42 for Todd Craig. Dalton Fredericks, quickest on the track, a 38.92. So even about 3/10 of a big moment, big slide as Fredericks looks to take that final podium spot away. Looking to the inside, look for a slide job. He's going to pack it down into the corner, slide up the racetrack just a little bit. You can see the tail end hanging out on a little bit of a twitch, a little bit of a wiggle, but it's not going to be enough to stop the run. Fredericks going to take that 3rd spot away. With 5 laps to go, we're watching our only battle on the racetrack right here inside of your top 5 between Dalton Fredericks running now in 3rd, taking that 3rd spot away from Todd Craig, who slides back to 4th. Race leader John McMillan Jr. will see the high five from the race leader, from the boss man at the flag stand, who are leading the race with 5 laps remaining. And what a run to finish things off, right? We're looking at these green flag pit stops. They've been about 25 to 26 laps. The drivers are running about 70 laps under green flag conditions now. Well over half of this race under green flag racing conditions, all back to back. 3 rounds of green flag pit stops. That is a phenomenal feat, especially these older Gen 4 machines, right? A lot of these drivers may have forgot how these cars particularly drive in the draft, how much the air really does affect them, what the slide in this car feels like compared to the slide in the new Gen 7 machines. This car right here, over 20 years old. These are the cars that we watched some of our favorite Cup Series drivers drive in. These cars being laid to rest, I want to say somewhere around the 2005, 2009 era. of NASCAR. So definitely some throwbacks for some of these drivers. Got some great paint schemes to represent that as well. But how about we represent the man at the front? Great dominating performance here tonight. Able to lead the most laps here tonight. From Michigan, John McMillan Jr. looking to finish what will be the final 4 miles of racing right here from Michigan International Speedway off of turn 4. Popsicle sticks on display. We've got 2 to go here from Michigan. What a great night. What a great race. We started with 21 drivers in the field here tonight. We have still got 15 out there on the track, but only 12 left on the lead lap. Gary May going to be listed as the final driver on the lead lap. As the race leader comes off of turn 4, white flag flies. Final lap here from Michigan International Speedway. John McMillan Jr. going to lead the most laps, and he has got himself a comfortable advantage. 1.5 seconds over second place runner Corey Melton. No battle for second as Dalton Fredericks 2 seconds back. Sitting in third, Todd Craig gonna slide back a little bit, lose some time in fourth, and Wasserman looks to round out your top 5. Off of 4 for the final time, the man behind the wheel of this 15 machine. He's going to look to take the checkered flag here tonight, and he's going to do so in the first race for the Swift Motorsports Cup Series. He's going to park that General Tire Canadian-sponsored Exalta number 15 in Victory Lane. And what do you say we jump on board? I do believe we've got a great... No, not that on board, fellas. Give us the other one. There it is. That's the one we're looking for. How about it? What a run here tonight for the man behind the wheel of this machine. John McMillan Jr. going to take the first checkered flag in the Cup Series. Man, great race, great run to the end, right? I mean, absolutely phenomenal job by all of these drivers. Over 70 laps of green flag racing to end the night. As we go to the front stretch, give the man his credit where credit is due. Smoke show on the front stretch for the fans in the stands. The sold-out packed house gets to watch McMillan Jr. burn it down. So as he enjoys his post-race celebration, we're going to get things set up for your post-race interviews. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back. And back high above the track at the conclusion of tonight's race, right here from Michigan. What a run there to finish things off over three green flag pit stops to finish out the race here tonight from Michigan. So a job well done to all of the drivers out there. And we're going to start things off with our post race interviews with the driver that finished in third here tonight. Let's see if we can get a word or two with the man behind the wheel of that number 20 machine. Dalton, you started from the pole position. You're going to finish on the podium here tonight. Can't be too sad about the run. I know we want to win them, but got to be happy about a great points day to start off the Cup Series.
Yeah, our All-Star 15 Ford Fusion was very good, very strong out there. Had a great qualifying, was able to get pole position there. Um, we had a strong car all day, just a couple mistakes at the end kind of pulled us away from the win, but you can't win all of them, but I'm very happy with the top 3 finish.
Well, man, it's a long haul here. You've got a lot of racing action here. Win Swift running in the Truck Series, running in these Cup Series. Um, I know it's a little bit early in the. Well, it's not a little bit early. It's the earliest it can really get in the season. But after a race like tonight, where you were able to start at the front, you maintained some good track position all night. You had rounds of green flag pit stops involved. How you feeling about the crew? How you feeling about this car?
Yeah, our crew is amazing over at Hutch Sports Racing. We got very supportive guys over there that help each other out. But our car was very strong, and we kind of got a sense of how the field is gonna race. So, with all that in mind, I think we're gonna have a pretty strong season going forward.
Well, Dawn, again, congratulations on a great run here tonight, picking up some points for the pole, picking up a great points day, finishing out the podium positions in third. So before we let you go here tonight, would you like to give any final shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, maybe thank anybody back home or at the race show?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Joe Hutchings, owner at Hutch Sports Racing. He does an amazing job at organizing everything with what we do. Um, all the guys at Hutch Sport Racing that help each other with practices and whatnot. I'd also like to thank All Star 15 for sponsoring the car. Nerds Doing Nerd Things, Detoured by Design, LLC, Drinking Bros, Hutch Sports Music Studios, um, Broken Oak Kennels, in Greenwood, Florida, and um, and also Amsoil for helping us with our team.
All right. Well, again, Dalton, congratulations on the great showing here tonight, starting the season off on the right foot. So, as always, stay safe and keep it fast.
Thank you. Have a good night.
All right, there you have it. Final few words for the man that walks away with points for the pole position and finishing on the podium here tonight. He's going to slide home in third. Dalton Fredericks walks away with a good points night indeed. Corey Melton going to come home in second. Unfortunately, Corey's still trying to work his way through post-race inspection. We'll see if we can catch up with Corey next week. As we've already mentioned, love that paint scheme. Love the fact he finished inside the podium, up 16 spots from where he started here tonight. So we'll see if we can't talk to Melton next week before the race at the Glen. But we're going to move right on along into victory lane to the man that got the job done. He's going to pick up and wave that checkered flag here tonight from Michigan. Behind the wheel of that 15 machine, John, it's Dave. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing good, Dave.
Well, man, we had an opportunity to talk last night, right? You finished third in the Truck Series here from Michigan. You're going to back up that great performance with one that's just a little bit better here tonight. Walking away with that sweet checkered flag. Starting the season off right. What was the strategy? When did you figure out how long you could run that car?
Yeah, for me, the strategy was to always stay on the bottom lane. I've seen a lot of guys running the top lane, but I tried it a few times, and for me, it was just too loose, stayed low, and tried to stay consistent. That was pretty well the game plan all along.
Well, you executed it there. And at one point in time, it looked like through the green flag pit cycle, you gave up a position or two. You were able to grab it back pretty easily. Um, was there anything different on that pit stop? Because the one previous and the one post, those drivers weren't able to make that short pit work.
Yeah, I think they just might have pitted maybe 2 or 3, maybe 4 laps ahead of me, so they were able to have those fresher tires for that time, and were able to get out in front and grab the lead. But by the time we had come out with fresher tires, then we were able to just walk by them.
Well, man, you executed the strategy to a T. You walked away with the most laps led here tonight. You walked away with the first checkered flag of the season. So, congratulations here tonight. We're not going to keep you any longer, so you know the drill. We're going to step back, and the mic is yours.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank everyone here at Swift, all of the people that make this happen. They do a great job. Even all the drivers here in this Gen 4 league, they had a great race today. Lots of clean racing. Lots of respect for all the drivers I raced against. I'd like to thank you as well, Dave. You do a great job broadcasting. I'd like to thank my dad, too. He's always good for the support.
All right, my man. Well, again, always a pleasure to catch up with you. Always great to watch you out on track. You're one of the fast guys, and we look forward to talking to you a little bit later on throughout this season. But until next time, as always, we said it last night, and we're going to say it again. Stay safe and keep it fast.
Thanks, Dave. See you later.
All right, there you have it. Final few words from your race winner here from Michigan, walking away with the checkered flag behind the wheel of that Canadian-sponsored Exalta. Number 15, Machine John McMillan Jr. will walk away with the checkered flag. Strolling in a little bit late, finally making his way through post-race inspection and racing up here to the interview line. Corey, it's Dave. How you feeling, bud?
I feel good, man. That was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. And I tell you what was even more fun for me was seeing a paint scheme that I have about 5 or 6 die casts sitting behind me, man. That beautiful Cobalt Tools Lowe's machine
Yes,
with
sir.
a 48 on the side. Man, you're the most popular driver. I don't care what anybody says. You got my vote, and that's all
I
that
appreciate
matters.
it, man. Long-time Jimmy fan.
Well, they say great minds think alike. Huge Jimmy fan. I even got the Indy cars, but enough about that. We could talk about some of that a little bit later on throughout the season. I'm sure we're going to visit each other at the end of these things a handful of times. A lot of great speed behind the wheel, up 16 spots. How were you able to to crawl up through the field and gain all those spots?
I mean, patience. These cars are a handful. They're a lot of fun. Just gotta be patient, let other people screw up and get loose, and then take advantage one car at a time. And then that caution came out, and I got hit in the back, so that was fun. But luckily, no major damage. But just biding your time. It's 100 laps, man. You're not gonna win on the first lap. I did really bad on qualifying, about wrecked, and so it ruined my time. And so I knew I had to just be patient.
Well, man, the patience paid off here tonight. Going to walk away with second place points, start the season off on the right foot. But we're going to look at a little tougher of a feat next week. We're heading to the first road course of the season. We're going to get a road course out of the way early. The Glen coming up. Do you think you have what it takes to put it on the podium again, or are we going to see an up and over into the tire barrier Jimmy Johnson moment? You
Definitely
like
not
how
the
I did that, right? You like how I did that?
I
That was
did. I
great.
did. That was a wild moment and terrifying at the same time. But no, that's not going to happen. I actually will admit though I have no races in the Gen 4 car under a road course, but I'm really good. I've always been good at road courses and other cars. So just give me about halfway through the race and then check up on me and see where I'm at.
All right. Well, we're gonna hold you to it, and we're not gonna hold you any longer here tonight. Before we let you go, Corey, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous?
Just shout out to the boys at Assassin, man. Didn't really ask. I just kind of jumped in this thing, and they're a lot of fun to race with, man. Good group of guys. Appreciate Don and all them for putting on the league. It's a lot of fun, man.
All right. Well, again, Corey, congratulations on the great podium run here tonight, picking up the most positions throughout the race. So something to put in your back pocket there, as always. Until next time, my friend, stay safe, and as always, keep it fast.
Thanks, Dave. You too, bud.
All right, there you have it. 48, trying to not be 48 next week at the Glen. If you know, you know. If you don't, well, NASCAR came out with a great thing. It's called NASCAR Classics. Check it out. A lot of great archive footage in there. But nonetheless, we're going to talk about the great footage we watched here tonight. Awesome green flag race to finish out tonight's event from Michigan for Swift Motorsports Cup Series. 3 rounds of green flag pit stops to close out the event. Couldn't stress how hard it is to keep these machines underneath you, especially after they get sideways. We've seen a handful of guys corral the car late to avoid catastrophe. Todd Cray, one of those guys, he's still able to salvage a great night here tonight. So just all in all, great racing here from Michigan for Swift Motorsports. And as the producers hit those buttons in the background, you know it's time for us to run down the unofficial race results. Race number 1 behind us for Swift Motorsports Cup Series. Walking away with the checkered flag here tonight behind the wheel of that 15 machine, John McMillan Jr. Corey Milton going to slide home in second with Dalton Fredericks finishing out your podium drivers. 21 up Todd Craig comes home in fourth with Brian Wasserman back in fifth and sliding home in sixth. The 30 Kitty Cat coin machine of Justin Gann. 33 All-Star 15 TV. Am's oil machine of Gary Wells going to come home in 7th. Mike Compaggio, teammate in the 9, going to slide home in 8th. Scott Bromler back in 9th. In his McConey setup shop, number 39 machine, the 00 John Deere machine of Nick Hunt, going to finish out your top 10. The 01 of Cody Sleeper going to come home in 11th. The Kellogg's CarQuest, number 5 of Gary May, going to finish in 12th. 13th tonight to Daniel Grimm. Bailey Dutton, early trouble, perseverance on Showcase. Dutton going to come home 2 laps down in 14th. John McMillan Sr. back in 15th with Jason Branch parking the Barbie car in 16th. Darren Clement back in 17th. The 17 machine of Tommy Haynes going to finish out tonight's race in 18th. 19th from the track here tonight, Patrick DeSauner, followed by John Wimbish and Roy Fernandez. The Cuban Missile Rocket will finish out your 21 car field here tonight from Michigan International Speedway. So as we begin to cut off the lights and roll up the cords, we're going to head to upstate New York for the Running at the Glen. Coming at you next Tuesday night. Write it down on your calendar, or better yet, if you haven't already, join us in that push to 3,000. Show these drivers the love. Drop that thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash that bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Dave of the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters. We do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by. So for myself and everybody else, stay safe, stay loved, my friends, and until next time, we'll meet ya in Turn 3.